Hi, I'm Captain Andrea.
And I'm Commander Matthew.
And welcome to TREKBACK Tuesday.
This is the show here on Nerd News Today that seeks out new toys and old merchandise from across the Star Trek universe.
What do we have for the viewers today, Commander Matthew?
Well, Captain, today we have from the distant year of 1992 and the launch line from Playmates' Star Trek The Next Generation line, we have the Borg. We have the Borg, much like Arby's has the meats.
Nice. The collective meats. Ooh, actually, I thought Borg assimilated Arby's. Would they be delicious?
Well, that would mean that Arby's was delicious to begin with.
Oh, good point. The Borg made their debut in Season 2, Episode 16, Q Who.
That's right, it was Q who in fact introduced Starfleet to the Borg.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, Q. Thank you for introducing us to the deadliest, most vicious villain the Star Trek universe had ever faced.
It's your fault we had the Battle of Wolf 359 and lost so many members of Starfleet and so many ships.
And Jennifer!
And Jennifer Sisko. Thanks, Q. But on the plus side, we did get 7 of 9.
Yeah.
Set phasers on stunning. Hit it a little hard there, Captain. A little hard. You haven't really lessened the Vulcan death. So here's a quick look at the packaging, which is in that same type of design that we've seen for all the other figures from this Playmate series. And again, it has a window on the front as well to the Borg. And again, this is a very mint condition figure because it's totally unpunched, never been touched by human hands before. You know, I think I would have learned my lesson by now, but
No. For the collection. Oh, sorry, for the collective. On the back are the other 9 characters in the line. There's a description of the Borg's accessories, and there's the Starfleet personnel file, which pretty much says we don't know much about them. This is when they showed up, and beware, run away, extreme caution. Oh my god, we're all gonna die!
Pretty much, yeah. At the time this came out, they hadn't exactly done what they would do soon after this.
They really hadn't figured out who the Borg were.
Yeah, I mean, by the time this toy came out, I think the Borg were actually a much bigger threat, though.
Yeah.
But the toy hadn't quite caught up to it yet. So
Yes.
It's kind of on the cusp of that point.
But still, we know that they're deadly.
And we also have a photo of the Borg, and that is, in fact, from the Q Who episode, and that is the actor who was the first person to play the Borg. That was Tim Trella,
Cool. Who's he?
an actor who played the first Borg.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
So that's who this figure is based off of, essentially. I mean, I don't think the likeness is quite there of Tim Trella, but I think we'll see that in one moment.
He looks like Batman in this picture.
He does, because he's got bat ears.
He's got bat ears and he's got the dark eye and he's like Borgman.
The Borg went through some changes, yeah.
Absolutely. Commander Matthew, whenever you're ready, beam him out.
Hi, Captain. Borg is on the deck, Captain. I've sealed it in a containment unit to make sure it doesn't escape and try and access into the computer's controls or anything
Good
else.
thinking, Commander Matthew.
We no assimilations today.
No, let's take a closer look at him.
So this Borg, as I mentioned, is based on that likeness of actor Tim Trella, since that was essentially the first person we saw in the Borg makeup. I don't think it's exactly a one-for-one likeness at all. It's a very much kind of characterized version of him. It almost looks like a Boris Karloff mummy kind of thing going on there.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Some real body horror stuff going on with this toy. So I really like the Borg outfit and the exoplating that he's got that is so familiar with those Borg. It's not exactly a 100% representation of what we saw on the episode, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, but you know what? One of the things I like about the Borg is you can customize it. You know, they're meant to be customized. You can do all sorts of different things with the Borg as long as it stays within a certain aesthetic. And yeah, I don't think you need it to be 100%, accurate. I think you can just have some fun with it, and I think that's what they did. Though that 10-pack there is
He's been really working those abs, like wow.
Wow, someone has like negative numbers body fat on them.
Some real Tybo stuff going on there. Tyborg.
Ooh!
Tyborg.
Someone make a mashup of that. We will totally put it up somehow.
Well, since I've got him kicking now, let's talk articulation. The head does move left and right. The arms can go up and down. We still have the bicep swivel. We actually, for the first time, have a wrist swivel. And we'll come back to that when we get to the accessories. He's got the same weird V legs you can get with the other Borg figures and the other Star Trek figures. And the knees work as well. Let's see if our Borg can take a squat. I don't think he can as easily as Galron did.
No, and I just noticed though that one foot has, looks like a regular foot. The other looks almost like a hoof.
Yeah, I mean, they are assimilated, I guess, of other species, so maybe he's got someone else's hoof foot for some reason.
A little creepy.
Yeah, a little creepy, a lot creepy.
Okay, then that's a lot creepy, whatever. And I love how one arm is much longer than the other.
Oh, yeah, that's a heck of an arm. Well, I guess it's going to lead us to our accessories then.
I think it will. We're going to start with the Borg action base. Or literally, the Borg are ready for action. Always ready for action.
Yeah, that's what the back of the box has said, and that's what the back of the box has said for every single one of these toys so far. Everybody is ready for action, no matter who they are.
I do want to point out that because of the different feet, standing without the base was a little funny, but on the base, it actually evens out really well. I feel like it's a little more raised. The Borg insignia
Yes.
is a little bit more raised, so that actually helps balance him out much nicer.
It's one of my favorite bases, actually, in the entire line, and he looks really good on this as well. And again, he does have a weird stance, like a lot of these characters have had in this first wave. His has got like 1 foot back for some reason. But thankfully, the base helps make sure they can stand up.
Yeah, and look good doing it. Next, and this is, while I understand it, it's also kind of meh. We have shield generator coils. On the back of the Borg are some holes.
That's a good place to put holes.
Yep. So we have these shield generator coils, and they're cool in theory. There are little holes in the back of the Borg, and you can easily, or semi-easily,
In theory.
insert them in. It's easy to get one into one hole, but then trying to snap it into the other is a little bit more difficult because it feels like they're just a little off. But hey, look, I got one in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try with the other.
No, I'm not either. I actually, as a kid, had this toy, and it was one of my favorites because of those abilities. But these little stupid wires, I threw them out immediately. they just did nothing for me. They always fell out. If you play with them a little bit, they would just come out as you played. The ones that are already on him are glued in. They're not a problem, but these other ones here, it's cool that they added it for customization's sake, but unnecessary.
Unnecessary, and quite frankly, it's a little too difficult.
Yeah. But now we're up to my favoriteest accessory of this figure, and probably one of my favorites of the entire first 10 figures.
This is the mechanical manipulation arm. It's used during manual labor, and it's specifically designed to aid in helping with ship repairs. The really cool one, in my opinion, is the one that Commander Matthew is holding. It is the Bionic plasma laser and cutting ray arm. Cutting ray. How do you cut a ray? Whatever.
Very sharply.
It's used during combat with unyielding cultures, specifically designed to destroy carbon-based life forms.
Yeah, this is really cool, and it's got an articulated little nub in there.
Oh, snap, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why it's really cool. This is a real seriously awesome accessory.
Oh, wow. This is just like a cool Terminator-esque hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but... Oh, it's only... Oh, hey! It's a Disney hand! It's got 4 fingers, not 5.
Oh, interesting. I never even realized that before.
Huh, okay.
Which is funny, because this hand does have 5 fingers. So, wow, how about
I
that?
really like that they put that thought into it.
So, this hand's not the one that comes out. It's actually this arm here that can pop out.
You mean the super long one that's way bigger than the other one?
Yes. Apparently, we found the thing that's stiffest out of the box, and that's his arm, because, wow, does this not want to come out.
Oh.
And you can see what I was talking about, folks. That wire just came flying out of the Borg.
Ta-da!
That was one of the ones that was, I think, glued into him.
No, it was not. This is the one that I put in.
That was it?
Yeah, that was the one that I tried to put in.
Yeah, like I said, that thing came right out, so pointless to have it. So why don't should we put this arm in first? Why don't you go ahead and give it a shot? So I'd recommend if you have a stiff joint problem like that with your Borg. Nice. If you have a problem like that, heat it up with a hair dryer or some warm water, and that'll loosen up the plastic.
Oh, son of a...
Which we might need to do here. There we go. We got this arm on him. And how cool is this arm?
That is pretty fun.
So oddly enough, this hand, this arm here does not have the bicep swivel. And I guess that's just... Actually, no, I don't know why they didn't do that, because they could have still done it. Like, it's funny that one arm does not. And again, it's also just as long as that other accessory he had now.
I will say this.
But it looks awesome.
It looks awesome, but I think this is the arm where, like, this attachment, I would have liked a little bit of color or different shading. Like, this would have been a good place for the two-tone. In fact, on the box, it looks almost as though it was supposed to be two-toned.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It looks like the other hand was also.
I think it was supposed to, but they figured this would work, and it does.
Yes.
But here, it looks a little bit too much like the same tone, and it just blurs a little bit. It takes away from some of its awesomeness.
But it's still pretty darn awesome.
No, it is. It is. It looks great. It's just.
But I'm gonna try the other hand
Could
too.
look better if it was a different color or had the extra shading.
Let's try this last arm. So there we go. I got the other arm on him. Again, very stiff and equally as long. So he assimilated McGill Gorilla to use this arm, I guess.
Oh, but it's an awesome looking hand. Like, I like the hand. I like the texture on it. I like the different raises and the lack of finger.
Yeah.
All that other stuff.
So overall, the Borg is totally one of my favorites of this entire 10-figure wave. I like all the detail. You know, you're the texture not here, but if you want to talk texture, the Borg is loaded with texture.
Yes.
He is very fun to hold, very fun to play. If you got a bunch of these Borg, you'd have a whole army of drones at your fingertips with different accessories to put on. And they would make many more Borgs after this that were all just as good. But this Borg right here, you know, like this is the one that, you know, if you wanted a villain to play with, this guy looks like a villain more than I think any other characters they put, any other aliens or whatever they put in this line.
The other clear-cut adversaries that are in this wave are the Ferengi and the Romulan. Gowron has always been kind of questionable, but ultimately, if Picard and Worf helped put him to power, ultimately he's a good guy, at least for the time being.
For the time being.
Yeah, so the Ferengi, the Romulan, like, they look cool. They look good. They look like, you know, kind of evil, but also not. They look a little bit more goofy evil in a way. This right here, this Borg, though, this is some menacing, evil, adversarial kind of stuff. I mean, this face just screams, I'm going to do horrible things to you now.
Like it
Prepare
looks
to
like,
die.
It looks like a scary zombie even. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this one is a lot of fun because this is your bad guy right here.
Totally.
So that's our look at the Borg from Playmates 1992 line of Star Trek The Next Generation figures.
And that's our last look at the very first series. So if you missed any of them, make sure to check out the archives, see everybody else who we covered in this line.
And with that, I'm Captain Andrea.
And I'm Commander Matthew. Thanks for watching this episode of Trek Back Tuesday here in Nerd News Today. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos here. And most importantly, live long and buy toys.
I made a face when I said that by accident.
Meh.